Part 3. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 21. Skill Card. Level, 1 star. Meteorite, after use, a boulder will drop in a space of 10m*10m, and the cooling time will be 24 hours. Note, kill those bastards. This is also the first skill card Fang Fan owns, which is relatively good. Skills are also graded. Ordinary skill cards have no rank, and their power will not be very large. A 1-star level skill card like this is already pretty good. Bang bang bang. Chug chu. Fang Fan was walking in the downtown area of Yangcheng City when he heard gunshots, which seemed particularly intense. Is there another big zombie group? Then I can go over and get a piece of the pie. Fang Fan was thinking this way, but found that many survivors were running frantically towards this side. The Chen family and the Wu family are already working. The fire at the city gate has affected Chiu. I heard that a powerful swordsman army suddenly appeared in the Chen family this time. It had already suppressed the Wu family, but I didn't expect a powerful army to appear in the Wu family later. Hey, the Wu family has spoken, and this time the entire Chen family is going to be wiped out. I think there is quite a lot of confidence there. The Chen family is in danger this time. The force of the Wu family is really too strong, and it is only natural that the Chen family can't beat it. It's just that this Yangcheng City will become the word of the Wu family in the future. I'm afraid our life will be even more difficult. The survivors were still talking about these things as they fled. Fang Fan's expression remained the same, and it seemed that the Chen family was indeed in trouble. Although Fang Fan has some contacts with the Chen family and has done a big business, Fang Fan has no intention of wading into the muddy waters this time. The law of survival in the apocalypse, the strong eat the weak. This rule is very strong and direct. The Chen family destroyed the Wu family, which was their life. In turn, the Wu family destroyed the Chen family, which was even more fatal. Fang Fan strode forward, everything was a cloud to him. In the old house where the Chen family was located, gunshots continued. Don't go. Check it out for me. Don't let any cub of the Chen family go. Maid. These Chen family members are crazy. They dare to challenge our martial arts family. Crap. Who gave them enough courage? By the way, pay attention to one person. This guy has 2 legions in his hands. He killed Wu Yang. Grass. Killed an elite team of our Wu family. On the land of Yangcheng, whoever dares to oppose our martial arts family will be courting death. Our Wu family will not let them go. We must kill them. At every intersection, there are warrior family members guarding them, and looking at their style, they want to wipe out the entire Chen family. It's rooting. It is indeed a bit vicious, but the reality is so cruel. Winning the king or defeating the bandit is to bear such a price. Fang Fan frowned as he looked at the barricades in front of him. These people were a little lost. What are you doing? Step aside. Guan Hai stepped forward and directly lifted the roadblocks. They were not looking for trouble, but they were not afraid of trouble. What are you doing? Get out. Dare to be arrogant with our Wu family's territory? Are you so tired of living? A small head of the Wu family stared at Guan Hai, and launched an attack on Guan Hai in his words, but he was the opponent of Guan Hai with 2-star combat power. He slapped it and turned over several somersaults. Boss, this group of people seems to be the murderer wanted by the main family. They killed young Master Wu Yang, and also wiped out the elite team of our Wu family. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 22. There are also a few notices posted on the roadblocks. The portraits on them are lifelike, but they don't look like Fang Fan at all. But the 2 legions under Fang Fan's hands were too revealing. Within the scope of Yangcheng City, having one legion is considered a great survivor, let alone 2 legions. In an instant, Fang Fan's identity was revealed. Fang Fan waved his hand, and the Yellow Turban leader army had already rushed over, killing a few Wu clan scoundrels who were blocking the way. Shhhhhhh. The last little brat of the Wu family frantically blew his whistle a few times before he died, as if he was calling the police. Fang Fan shook his head. He had already made up his mind to leave Yangcheng directly and head to a large city with a larger population in order to complete his mission of the strongest card shop. But now these people seem unwilling to let him go. What's going on here? Still want to practice 2 laps? Catch the killer. Patriarch's order. Catch this guy. There's a big reward. Catch the murderer who killed young Master Wu Yong, don't let him run away. From all directions, young men with guns rushed towards them. Some of these young men were holding guns, while others were wielding a large blade. But no matter what, their attitude is very unified, that is, they want to kill Fang Fan. Take down his army. Revenge. Haha. Then let the hatred come more violently. Fang Fan glanced at the submachine gun in his hand. This submachine gun was snatched from the elite martial arts team. At that time, if those people didn't want to shoot him, Fang Fan would not kill him. Now, these people want to use this as an excuse to do a wave of reverse operations. Fang Fan shook his head. If his strength was not strong enough, he might really have to follow in the footsteps of the Chen family. Guan Hai, Hans, kill me. Fang Fan gave an order, and the 2-star Yellow Turban leader army dispatched directly and charged in all directions. The 1-star Gothic submachine gunners corps, with Fang Fan as the corps, began to shoot frantically. The Yellow Turban leader corps has been promoted to 2-star, and the Yellow Turban leaders inside also have 2-star combat power. It is difficult for ordinary guns and ammunition to cause fatal damage to them. And the Gothic submachine gunners corps is extremely ferocious, and the battle situation rises to the peak in an instant. The surrounding warrior family was swept away directly. This was a crushing situation. It is too casual for the 2-star army to fight against these ordinary people. My lord, a large army is surrounded, at least 300 people. Guan Hai came over to report the information, and Fang Fan's face turned gloomy in an instant. These people really work tirelessly. Since the Wu family wants to die, then he can definitely help. The Yellow Turban leader corps join forces and attack from the front. The Gothic submachine gunners are divided into 2 teams and attack from both sides. This is a healing card and a supply card. Don't be afraid to waste cards, I have them here. My request is only one, slaughter these people. Fang Fan glanced at the bullet holes all over the body of several Gothic submachine gunners, and was furious to the extreme. What the Wu family did in the city, he didn't want to care, and he couldn't care. But they want to bully him, want to sacrifice his Fang Fan's head to the sky, then they have to pay the price they deserve. This price is destined to be based on blood. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 23. The killing feast has begun. Kill them all to me, and I will avenge my son. Wu Konglu, the head of the Wu family, had a murderous look on his face, and he surrounded Fang Fan and his party with hundreds of people. In addition, there are several powerful legions to follow. 1-star Vampire Banshee Legion. It turned out to have such a powerful army, no wonder the Chen family would lose. Fang Fan glanced at it, and he almost had a measure in his heart. The battle is triggered instantly. Although there are many people in the Wu family, the Yellow Turban Leader Corps and the Gothic Submachine Gunner Corps under Fang Fan are even more elite. Once the battle, the scene is extraordinarily grand. Flee me. Kill that kid. Then his legion will be paralyzed because it loses its master. Wu Zongli glanced in the direction of Fang Fan, with a murderous look on his face. He originally thought that with such a large formation, he could basically push it in one wave, but the strong resistance of Fang Fan's army made him feel frightened. These soldiers in golden armor are like ghosts on the battlefield, with agile speed and extremely powerful combat effectiveness. Ordinary bullets hit them, even blood is hard to come out. If these legions in golden armor continue to be slaughtered recklessly on the battlefield, no matter how powerful the Wu family is, they will be defeated. Wu Zongli's eyes were fixed on Fang Fan. Only by winning this person can we achieve the final victory. Vampire Banshee Legion. Give up the fight, gather to attack. Wu Zongli took out his trump card. The newly promoted 1-star Legion Vampire Banshee Corps saw 7 Vampire Banshees break through in formation and stab out from the defense line of the Yellow Turban Leader Legion. The bullets fired by the Gothic submachine gunners, it's hard to hit them. This is a group of ghosts on the battlefield. Their faces looked extremely terrifying, their beautiful figures twisted from side to side, and their sexy bodies were exposed. Skill, meteorite falls. Fang Fan recited softly, and the space area 10 meters in front of him suddenly flickered with huge boulders, and began to land crazily indiscriminately. Those blood-sucking banshees were caught off guard and were injured several times in an instant. But this didn't stop them from moving forward, they became more crazy and more urgent. This is your own death. Fang Fan waved his hand. Guan Hai had left the battlefield with a few Yellow Turban leaders and returned to support. A 2-star Yellow Scarf leader versus a 1-star Vampire Banshee, this is the crushing of quality. Sizzle. Guan Hai held a machete and slashed the leading Vampire Banshee in half. Immediately, the remaining Vampire Banshees panicked and tried to flee towards the surroundings. It's a pity, they have lost the chance to escape. The digital 2-star Yellow Turban leaders have blocked their escape route, killing them one by one. The strongest combat power of the Wu family, the Vampire Banshee army, was completely destroyed in the blink of an eye. Impossible, it's impossible. My vampire army is the most powerful. This is a 1-star army. My Vampire Banshee army. The face of Wu Zonglu, the head of the Wu family, who was standing in the rear and commanding the battle, changed dramatically. Obviously, he was terrified. His greatest support is gone. These people in front of me are extraordinarily powerful. Since you have such ability, it is better to join our martial arts family. I am willing to share this Yang Cheng with you. Share the glory and wealth. Wu Zonglu stood up with an embarrassed smile on his face, and said to Fang Fan. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 24. Surrender. The glory and wealth of Yangcheng City, does it exist? This city has long been destroyed by zombies. What's more, Fang Fan didn't want to cooperate with this group of people. Although your excellency is strong, but after all, there are not many people in your hands, and after fighting for so long, you must be tired. If you continue to fight, we can also annihilate you by relying on the tactics of the sea of people. I hope your excellency will not make a mistake. Wu Zonglu was well versed in negotiation. He first gave a big red date, and then started to give a big stick. Wu Zonglu's hands were embedded in flesh and blood, and he didn't want to stop the fight. Fang Fan killed so many people in their Wu family, and also killed his son. A bloody revenge must be avenged. Humph. When you let down your guard, I will completely imprison you and take your legion. I want to make you human. I want to make your life worse than death. A wicked look flashed across Wu Zonglu's face. Fang Fan touched his nose, an old-fashioned way. I'm sorry, I don't think your Wu family has the qualifications to negotiate with me. And your words, it's really too much. Fang Fan waved his hand. Guanhai had already rushed out like a shell from the chamber, slashing Wu Zonglu's head with a knife. The stubborn resistor. Kill. If you don't want to die, get out. Fang Fan said indifferently. He was far from being as kind as he imagined, but he also had his own personality. Bottom line. To survive in the last days, kindness to the enemy is cruelty to oneself. Yang Cheng, today is destined to be a brand new reshuffle of forces. The Chen family, a big family that has been rooted in Yangcheng for hundreds of years, was first destroyed, and then the head of the Wu family was killed, and the Wu family collapsed into a mess. The two powerful families collapsed one after another, making the bloody aura of the city even more intense. Two black shadows suddenly appeared in the distance. Guanhai subconsciously wanted to go forward to block it after seeing it. Eunuch, it's me. In the darkness, Chen Buletin's figure loomed. Next to him stood a middle-aged man in cyan armor. Guanhai, step back. Fang Fan waved his hand, signaling Guanhai not to change. Ingong, our Chen family, was slaughtered. Only I relied on Cao Hong to kill a bloody Wei and escape. Thank you for avenging such blood revenge for my Chen family. Chen Buletin knelt down on his knees, his face covered in blood, looking very sincere. Fang Fan also moved, but sighed unnaturally. Survival in the apocalypse is so cruel. I'm used to seeing life and death, so I don't feel anything. You don't need to thank me. I didn't mean to avenge your Chen family, it's just that the Wu family provoked me, and I killed them at will. Fang Fan shook his head, his face was still cold and his voice was still cold. No matter what, it was Ingong who destroyed the Wu family and avenged my Chen family's blood revenge. In this life, I would like to follow Ingong's side and be a servant. Chen Buletin slammed his head firmly on the ground, and a ray of blood shot out, obviously he was bleeding from the head. Fang Fan opened his mouth, and subconsciously wanted to refuse. He didn't want any fuel bottles. Ding. Immediately, the task of recruiting employees will start. Recruiting staff, recruit Chen Buletin to become the staff of the strongest card shop. Success reward, open agency permissions. Failure penalty, system strikes for 1 month. Remarks, as the most powerful card supplier, how can there be few younger brothers? Fang Fan sighed and abruptly reversed his voice. The dog system is going to do something. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 25. Threatened to go on strike? What is it that has a temper? I'm about to open a strongest card shop, would you like to be an employee of this shop? Fang Fan asked with a dark face. I'm willing. I'll do whatever my benefactor asks me to do. Chen Buletin's eyes flickered, and he had consecrated Fang Fan. Fang Fan sighed. Don't you know that being an idol is a lot of pressure? Chen Buletin originally owned a Qingzhou army corps, but when the Chen family was destroyed, the Qingzhou army corps was crippled, leaving Cao Hong alone there. Yangcheng City is considered a waste, the zombies have almost been cleaned up, and there is no point in staying here. If you want to seek development, you can only go to Zhongcheng. Before the end of the world, Zhongcheng was one of the top economic metropolises in China. It has a population of tens of millions. Even if most of them are turned into zombies, at least millions of survivors can be preserved. And a population of tens of millions means that there are tens of millions of zombies. This is a good opportunity. Go to Zhongcheng. Perhaps only a metropolis like Zhongcheng can meet the requirements of the dog system to open card shops. Fang Fan made up his mind and nodded secretly. Ding. Complete the immediate task to recruit staff. Mission reward, activate agency permissions. Introduction, the host can grant lower-level agents, and the agent has the qualification to sell daily series cards and lower-level cards on behalf of the host. According to the current scale of the host, The agent of the host is qualified to sell the daily series of cards, serum cards, and healing cards, as well as normal black iron cards. The agent will take 1% of the profit, and the host, as a supplier, can get 9% of the profit. Agent. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes. This system is not bad. Originally, he was still thinking, if he really opened a card shop, wouldn't it be too boring to watch over the counter all day buying and selling cards? The emergence of agents has solved this trouble, and Fang Fan only needs to be responsible for those high-end VIP customers in the future. Scattered small customers, let the agent solve it. And Fang Fan is also very satisfied with this pumping system. The agent only takes 1% of the fee, he takes the big buck and takes 9% of the fee. The dog system is still more humanized. From Yangcheng to Zhongcheng, if you walk on foot, I am afraid you will not think about it for a few months. Fang Fan found an off-road vehicle and a large truck in the Wu family's base. Fang Fan and Chen Buletin each drove one. As for those soldiers, they haven't got their driver's license yet. On the two vehicles, some food and water were mainly placed, as well as a large number of bullets and guns. At present, most of the zombies have not mutated, and the lethality of ordinary guns against zombies is still very large. Especially those submachine guns and machine guns, it would be a shame to just throw them away, let alone a few boxes of grenades. Lord, there are zombies blocking the road ahead. Driving on the highway, Quan Hai's alert sound came. Fang Fan's eyes teleported over, and the highway in front was blocked by a group of strange zombies. These zombies are formed after various animals have been attacked by viruses, including ape zombies, jackal zombies, and even huge tiger and leopard zombies. Fang Fan glanced around. If he guessed correctly, there should be a zoo nearby, and these zombies may have run out from there. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 26. Uncle Liang, I can't run. I shouldn't have listened to my father's words and had to run out, these zombies are so terrifying. Uncle Liang, run away, you are an awakened, you will definitely be able to run out, leave me alone. Among the zombies, Zhao Yaxin was full of despair. There are more and more zombies gathered around, and her escort team has been eaten up by the zombies. Soon, it will be her turn. The gun in his hand has no bullets, and now he can only rely on Uncle Liang to persevere. Life and death are on the line. Regret and fear grew in Zhao Yaxin's heart. If she was given another chance to choose, she would never be so willful. Her willfulness has killed too many people. And in this wild country-rich place, obviously there will be no more miracles. Zhao Yaxin looked at the pistol in her hand, she suddenly regretted why she didn't leave a bullet for herself. She can even feel the stench of those disgusting zombies. Bang bang bang. One after another gunshots swept across the sky and came suddenly. In despair, Zhao Yaxin suddenly grabbed the arm of the old man beside her. Uncle Liang, did you hear it? There were gunshots? Someone came, my father came to save me. We are saved. Zhao Yaxin wiped off the blood on her face, and the blood all over her body was flowing frantically. This kind of feeling of another village in the shadows of the willows and flowers, it made her feel so excited. Most of these are mutant zombies, they are all one-star zombies. Are these zombies advancing too fast? Fang Fan was holding a submachine gun, and there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. But obviously, under the crushing of the two-star legion like the Yellow Turban Leader Legion, these zombies are destined to become the souls of the sword. The one-star zombie explosion rate is different. Fang Fan looked at the cards and magic crystals all over the ground and nodded with satisfaction. Experience card? New card. Introduction: after using it, you can get a lot of experience, which can promote upgrades. Note: if you have a sufficient number of experience cards, you can theoretically become the supreme god. However, there will be some limitations. Ding. Use the experience card to gain an experience. Ding. The host's experience point has reached the critical point, start leveling up. A system sound came, Fang Fan felt a warm flow of heat passing through, and then his eyes lit up. Name: Fang Fan. Level: 1 star awakened. Legion: Yellow Turban Leader Legion, 2 stars, Gothic Submachine Gunners Legion, 1 star. Skill: Meteorite falling from the sky, 1 star. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows. Has he become a 1-star awakener? Upgraded. This experience card, so useful? In fact, Fang Fan's accumulated experience has almost reached the critical point, and with the impact of an experience card, he broke through again. It's not unusual. Many thanks to this gentleman for saving us. Still don't know the name of the gentleman. Zhao Yaxin walked in the direction of Fang Fan with Uncle Liang, and started to thank him after a distance. Fang Fan. Fang Fan glanced at the two survivors in front of him, feeling quite astonished. The woman in front of her is very beautiful, and her whole body is full of the gorgeousness of a mature woman. The beautiful facial features and graceful figure always give people a feeling of imagination. Even with a lot of blood stains on his body at the moment, it is still difficult to hide his brilliance. Fang Fan also subconsciously looked at it twice, but soon turned his head, glanced around the jeep, and was ready to continue on the road. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author: Shu Yu. Chapter 27. Men like beautiful women, it's normal. It is a normal man's routine to look at him subconsciously. But that's enough for now, and if you continue to go deeper, it will look dirty. Zhao Yaxin stood there in amazement. Why is this man so cold? A beautiful woman like her, aren't these men willing to come up and talk a little more? Zhao Yaxin nodded secretly. Fang Fan's evaluation improved a lot. Sir, I beg you to send us back to Zhongcheng. Zhao Liang, who was beside him, stepped forward and started a formal conversation. This place is deserted, their car has been destroyed by zombies long ago, and now they can only rely on Fang Fan. Fang Fan inspected his jeep and saw that there was no problem and started the engine, but he didn't pay any attention to Zhao Liang's plan. Zhao Liang's face is full of embarrassment. This is so embarrassing. Sir, we will give you a lot of rewards, 100 magic crystals. 300. 1000. Make a deal. Fang Fan turned his head and glanced at the two people strangely. These two guys seem to have unusual identities. Can they promise 1,000 magic crystals at every turn? We don't have so many magic crystals on us now. When we return to Zhongcheng, we will definitely pay. Zhao Yaxin said very sincerely. Fang Fan thought for a while, then nodded. He is not worried that these people will default on their accounts. His accounts are not so good. Aren't you from Zhongcheng? Zhao Yaxin looked at the direction Fang Fan was driving, and occasionally glanced at the map. No, I'm from Yangcheng. Fang Fan nodded and glanced at Zhao Yaxin through the reflector. This woman was quite attractive. Yangcheng? How did you escape from there? How is your situation in Yangcheng? Have you already been captured by zombies, so you all fled? Zhao Yaxin's words were mixed with a sense of anxiety, and her emotions seemed a little excited. Fang Fan frowned. This guy, what's the situation? No. All the zombies in Yangcheng have been killed, so I want to find a bigger city and continue to kill zombies. Fang Fan's voice was particularly indifferent, and when it came to killing zombies, his words showed an unparalleled sense of confidence. Zhao Yaxin opened her cherry mouth, her face full of surprise. This guy, is his brain stuck? Survival in the apocalypse, the survivors can't wait to find a paradise without zombies. This guy is good, do the opposite. Want to meet more zombies? What the hell is this thinking? I don't get it. But the solemn expression on Fang Fan's face doesn't seem to be fake. By the way, you said that you are from Zhongcheng. How is the situation in Zhongcheng now? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes and was about to go to Zhongcheng. If he could get some intelligence support, it would be a good thing. Zhongcheng's current situation is okay, because the major families have organized their staff in a timely manner after the end of the world to drive away the zombies. Where the end of the world comes, the major forces cooperate with each other and have driven out the zombies in the inner city. Now the inner city is a pure land, but the outer city is still full of zombies. Those who have the conditions have entered the inner city to settle down, and those who don't have the conditions can only stay in the outer city and continue to survive. Those big families are really hateful. Watching so many innocent survivors killed by zombies. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 28. Zhao Yaxin was a little excited, and Fang Fan gave her a strange look. Didn't expect this silly girl to have such feelings. It is very rare in the apocalypse. However, Fang Fan also got some preliminary information from her, such as the current distribution of forces in Zhongcheng. The inner city and the outer city divide the powerful and the commoners. The outer city is still chaotic, with hordes of zombies, but the inner city clearly has initially become a pure land. Such a city is more conducive to Fang Fan's development. Miss those people from the big family can't do anything. The inner city is so big, if we let all the survivors rush in, we will all die. It is always necessary for some survivors to attract the attention of zombies. The old man on the side covered his wound and couldn't help but say one more sentence. Humph. Is human life so cheap? For their own selfish desires, they can abuse life like this? They are so hateful. As Zhao Yaxin spoke, her teeth itched with hatred. Fang Fan shook his head, a pure little girl. Judging from her appearance, she should not have been nurtured by the end of the world. Or is she herself the child of a powerful person in Zhongcheng? Come from a big family. The end of the world, this is the era when the rules are trampled. When survival is not guaranteed, it would be too naive to talk about benevolence and righteousness at such a time. The end of the world has its own rules of survival. What we can do is to make ourselves stronger as possible. If everyone is allowed to enter the inner city, they are all safe and lose their desire to continue to be strong, but the zombies will become stronger and stronger. What kind of situation do you think it will evolve into in the end? Maybe the entire city will die. Fang Fan spoke calmly while driving the car. Zhao Yaxin fell into silence. She is not a fool, she just has more compassion. From this perspective, she had to admit that what Fang Fan said was very reasonable. Overprotection, maybe a chronic poison. I can't see it now, when the poison is dead, it will be too late. The car in front. Stop. Quickly stop. Seeing that the distance from Zhongcheng was getting closer and closer, suddenly there were roadblocks in front of them. What's in the car? Let me check it out. A few guys in uniform came over and glanced at Fang Fan, looking very arrogant. Chen Buletin was ready to start holding the submachine gun. Fang Fan waved his hand to signal him not to act rashly. I'm from the Zhao family, please let me go. Zhao Yaxin looked happy when she saw these people in front of her. Someone set up roadblocks, indicating that they were about to enter Zhongcheng. People from the Zhao family. Brother, all the guns and ammunition are loaded in the back. The whole car is full of them. A younger uniformed youth suddenly shouted, and the little leader in the lead suddenly changed his face, his eyebrows raised, and he looked a little excited. People can go, but the good stay. The little head raised his head, very arrogant. This is my Zhao family's goods, you dare to intercept it? You don't want to live anymore. Zhao Yaxin stuck her head out, looking very dissatisfied. He, I wanted to let you go, but you are courting death. The people of the Zhao family, are they awesome? Who knows if I kill you all here? Give me their guns. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 29. When the little boss heard the Zhao family, his eyes jumped. Obviously, he was more concerned about this aspect. But there is still some distance from the inner city of Zhongcheng, and even if what happened, no one knows at all. Immediately, the little boss looked a little sloppy, with murderous intent in his eyes. Fang Fan shrugged, a cliché plot. Seeing Zhao Yaxin's angry face, Fang Fan patted her on the shoulder to comfort her. Don't be angry with your identity everywhere, many times your identity will put your life in danger. Quan Hai, Hans, let's solve it. Fang Fan waved his hand, and the Yellow Turban Leader Corps and the Gothic Submachine Gunners Corps, who were hiding in the large truck behind them, shot at the same time. These dozen or so guys with weapons were not opponents at all. Without even firing a single shot, the Yellow Turban leaders dealt with it with the machetes in their hands. There was blood all over the place, and the scene was spectacular. Lord, 3 pistols and 7 semi-automatic rifles have been confiscated. Quan Hai came forward to report the victory. Well, move them to the car and move on. Fang Fan nodded, lit his jeep, and continued on his way. Just now, thank you. Zhao Yaxin's face was a little flushed. She originally wanted to help Fang Fan, but she didn't expect to end up doing it a disservice. I should thank you, you are also kind. Fang Fan shrugged, seemingly indifferent, and continued to drive forward. Zhao Yaxin stared at Fang Fan's back. It was hard to imagine that this cold-looking little man could kill so decisively. Only a few days after the end of the world, this will has been exercised. The closer you get to the inner city of Zhongcheng, the more zombies there are. At the same time, there are correspondingly small survivor camps in groups of 3 or 5, and the figures of the survivors are constantly shuttled. When they saw Fang Fan's car passing by, each had a malicious expression on their faces, but when they saw the more than 20 heavily armed soldiers being transported in the truck behind, they put their fangs away again. In front of you is the inner city of Zhongcheng. Zhao Yaxin reminded silently. Get off. Get checked. At the gate of the inner city, a temporary fortification was erected, guarded by many heavily armed soldiers on both sides. The leader was a young man with red hair, holding a submachine gun and yelling at the pedestrians. Hong Mao, it's the young lady who is back. Today, you are guarding the city gate. Zhao Liang, who hadn't spoken for a long time, hurriedly called out when he saw Hong Mao, and he seemed to know each other. It's Uncle Liang, get out of the way, everyone. Let the car go in first. When Hong Mao saw Zhao Liang, his expression changed immediately, and he hurriedly started to clear the field. Wait, I said, what happened to your Zhao family? Don't you know what to check? It's all ordered from above, and no one is allowed to enter at will. Can you still do it? No, get out of here. A group of fully armed men and horses walked in the distance. The leader was wearing black leather armor and had several teeth marks on his face, which seemed to have been bitten by a zombie. Zhang Xiao, this is our eldest lady. The red hair was originally black, and was about to raise the muzzle. After seeing the face of the visitor, he quickly whispered. Yo, it's Miss Zhao, what's the matter? Is this coming back? The old man of the Zhao family has been very angry these days. Miss Zhao naturally doesn't need to investigate, but these people, How come I've never met them? What if they are thugs? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 30. Zhang Yu walked over with a ruffian look on his face, looking extremely arrogant. Zhang Yu, these are my friends. Show me some respect. Zhao Yaxin looked at the visitor, her face was a little unsightly, she pushed the door and got out of the car, dressed in military uniform, but she was valiant. Yo! Miss has such a big temper. But I'm also implementing the above regulations, search me. Do a good search. Zhang Yu looked at Zhao Yaxin with a gloomy smile on his face, waved his hand, and the horse behind him strode over and started to check. Young Master Zhang, there are 24 people in total, 2 of them are survivors, and the rest are legionnaires. In addition, there is a full cart of weapons, enough to equip 100 people. The little pony stepped forward, his face full of excitement. Yo! People can go in, the weapons are to be kept, and we have to check. We'll talk about it when we've checked. Zhang Yu raised his eyebrows, his face was full of joy, and he was equipped with 100 people's weapons, this was a big gain. Zhang Yu, do you dare to intercept our Zhao family's weapons? Zhao Yaxin's face became more and more ugly. It was not easy to move out of Zhao's house on the road before, but now that she has arrived at the door of her house, can she still be bullied? Haha. Miss Zhao is really good at joking. Where are these people from the Zhao family? They are clearly survivors from outside. Looking at Miss Zhao's face, it's not bad to let them enter the city. As for these guns, I said, they need to be checked. Zhang Yu laughed, with such a large piece of fat in front of him, can he not eat it? I said, they are all from my Zhao family, and these weapons are also from our Zhao family. Zhang Yu, do you want the Zhao family and the Zhang family to go to war? Zhao Yaxin raised her head stubbornly, Fang Fan was her savior, no matter what, she had to take care of today's affairs. And you have to take care of it? Go to war? I'm afraid it's not your decision, right? Get off, the car and the weapons stay. Zhang Yu turned to look at Fang Fan, with murderous intent in his eyes. My things, no one can move. Fang Fan got out of the car and stared at the man in black with the imprint of zombie teeth on his face, and his words couldn't help but contain some anger. Yo he? You are looking for death. You are so arrogant in my territory, you are looking for death. Zhang Yu was immediately amused, and slapped him over. Fang Fan grabbed his hand directly, and then twisted his backhand. Kaka, the sound of brittle bones came. I don't want to cause trouble, don't overdo it. Fang Fan snorted coldly, and Guan Hai came over with the Yellow Turban leader army, and directly selected the few horses that Zhang Yu brought. The bullet hit the leader of the Yellow Turbans, barely leaving a white mark. When Fang Fan pointed a gun at his head, Zhang Yu's expression changed dramatically. He knew very well that he had encountered a tough stubble today. These guys are so strong. Boy, you have a seed. Make way. Zhang Yu clenched his hands tightly, and his teeth collided and rattled. If you want to play, you can accompany you anytime. Fang Fan stretched out his hand and slapped Zhang Yu's face twice, without the slightest fear. As a newcomer, he didn't want to see blood, and he didn't want to be too arrogant. After all, I came here to open a card shop. If I just came here, it would be bloody, would it still be possible to stay? Fang Fan, you shouldn't have come out just now, that person, belongs to the Zhang family, and is used to being domineering. If he finds you in the future, you will mention our Zhao family.